Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. Let's talk about Arcana. Is she worth it? Being a very unique and niche Burst 2 character. With that, we're gonna get one copy. Okay. Alright. Oh! Yo, just like that guys. Yo! Yo!
The cold, ruthless, and professional guardian of secrets.
Yo! Just like that, guys. Alright, let's just first talk about Arcana as a whole and where is her role generally, right? Because she's a Burst 2 character, as you can see. Being a supporter electric, that means she's going to fit in electric team specifically. Now, she is going to be a little bit more niche, and building a team with her is not going to be easy for beginners because she's going to be a 40 seconds Burst 2. That means you're gonna need one more Burst 2. You need two Burst 2 to basically make a team with her, which can be a little bit tricky. Let's talk about that shortly, right? But first things first, as you can see, she is going to be a character that, let's focus on the Burst skill first, right? Affects all electric code allies. Wheel of Fortune basically gives everybody attack damage increased by 10%, and of course damage taken for the enemies increased by 10%, and also she does a little bit of damage. So as you can see, she's going to basically only buff electric code allies. Anyone else is just not going to work. If you do not intend to build an electric team with her, then there's just no point, right? She basically fits strictly inside an electric team. Now let's bring this back. Wheel of Fortune is going to be her burst skill. When she bursts, right? You can see on the skill 1, this is where a couple of things happen. Affects all burst 3 electric code allies who previously cast their burst skill if in Wheel of Fortune status. Again, that's if she bursts. So what is going to happen is she's going to apply two things, right? Number one, she's going to decrease the cooldown of skill 2 of that said character by 75%, and then she's going to increase attack damage 180%. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is where she gets super niche now, and you might be wondering who are the characters that can pair well with her. First things first, she needs to be basically paired with Burst 3 electric code characters. Now that's going to filter down to only a few characters right here, right? So you can see these are going to be our choices. But for this specific skill 1, it is mentioned that the cooldown of skill 2 is going to decrease by 75%. Now, not every character has a skill 2 that has cooldown. Some of them just have passive. Let's look at Guillotine one, right? So this is going to be skill 2. You can see this is just a passive right here. Now, she's not going to, that particular effect is not going to affect Guillotine right here. Same goes for Maiden. Okay, Maiden do have a 30 seconds cooldown. And what does her skill 2 does? She taunts and she increase critical damage. Alright, so basically it's a boost to critical damage and taunt, which is a little bit weird for the time being. That's one thing. Next up, we got Mid Privacy. Again, it's just a passive for a skill 2, so it's not going to do much. We got Ice Rose Maiden, which is just a passive. Again, it's not going to do anything there. Iron is just a passive. And you can see a lot of these characters, sadly, they are not going to work with, except for Maiden, maybe, and Isabel. Now we're talking, right? Isabel has a 15 seconds cooldown on skill 2. And what this does is she's going to do a little bit of damage, towards enemies with the highest final defense, right? 5 enemies. But of course, if there's only one boss, it's going to just affect that particular boss. This is where the Isabel effect comes in, right? So she is going to boost Isabel because reducing this particular 15 seconds skill 2 means that Isabel will be very strong on the be able to spam this particular skill, and of course the attack damage increase as well. Next up, the skill 2, right? So this is where the second skill is going to come in, Cycle of Destiny. When Burst 3 ends, again it's going to affect Burst 3 electric code allies who cast their burst skill. So they're going to get the attack increase by 180%, right? When full burst ends, affects all allies if self is in Wheel of Fortune status. Cooldown of burst skill decrease by 6 seconds. Okay, again, very helpful. This one is going to work universally, I guess, for anyone besides Isabel. Attack increased by 50%, activates when full burst ends, affects all allies. So this is going to be affecting everyone. Now this one, the cooldown of burst skill, do have a little bit of synergy with Isabel one, because Isabel also has the full burst time of all allies decreased by 5 seconds. So if you are pairing Isabel, alright, in a team, or you're putting Isabel in a team, you want to put her in a team where basically she synergizes with characters that basically reduces the burst time. You don't want to pair her with characters that increase burst time. For example, Blanc and Noah increase burst cooldown generally, so that's going to be one that's very bad. Another character is going to be Modernia, right? Now just so in case people are not aware what characters have those, Modernia also has something very similar, right? If you look at her skill right here, you can see when she bursts, full burst time increase by 5 seconds. Alright, so these are the characters. That's why Modernia works with Blanc and Noah, whereas certain characters just doesn't, right? So back to Isabel, she is going to be, as you can see, the best characters right here to be able to benefit from Arcana's buffs. Now, let's jump into some testing, show you guys a little bit more discovery in terms of how the electric team meta is going to move forward through with Isabel and Arcana. So we are going to rotate in a way that we are able to benefit from the... So we let them burst together, Arcana and Isabel burst together. Arcana.
I shall decide your destiny.
I don't really like that face actually.
This is a private party.
Right?
I am your
I dropped 50 pulls and not a single SSR.
I'll clean my glass slippers.
We have right here, you can see, this is with Isabel, Rouge, Cinderella, Arcana and Blanc. So Arcana is a 40 seconds cooldown character, burst 2, right? So when you use her, you gotta bring one more burst 2 character. She cannot be the only burst 2 because otherwise you will have a timer that waits, right? So you can see this one we got 1296. We bring Arcana but we're forced to bring Blanc, right? So in this other testing, I took out Arcana, I put Anis Sparkling Summer. Now Anis Sparkling Summer do buff electric units. So you can see Isabel with Arcana, she does improve her damage by a lot, right? From 182 right here, she goes up to 412. She gets about 2.5 times more damage with Arcana, but the overall damage is less. This team still does more damage. Now I am using a limited FOMO limited character, Anis Sparkling Summer, which 80% of you guys watching the stream do not have, am I right? So now we take out Anis Sparkling Summer. We cannot put limited because it's not fair, right, for the new players. So who is fair? Okay, so let's try to be fair. Let's put a Scarlet here.
Who shall be the next to fall under
But Scarlet
my
is not
blade?
bursting. Alright, Scarlet is not. Is this going to be on par, right? Because at the end of the day, we gotta have a slight comparison. I think this is more fair. Everybody has Scarlet, right? Am I right? Everybody here has Scarlet. And plus Scarlet is not limited. So if you are specifically trying to do this and this, so these two are... Arcana is going to be better. But if you have Anis Sparkling Summer, then Arcana is not going to be better. At that point, Arcana doesn't add anything. So it does depend on this character specifically. If you don't have any Sparkling Summer, then maybe it's a slight upgrade overall. Another different way that you can set up. So you got a burst 2, burst 3, burst 2, burst 3. So Arcana will be buffing Isabel and Trina will be buffing Scarlet. So if you want to, you can separate them around, and then you have Cinderella going in separately, right? I think this is pretty impressive. 1.1. Could you use this for electric raids? I think you could. I think this team could be one of the better ones. Because before this, the best team is with Cinderella, right? Maybe now we have a new best team. I've tested before a lot of times, plenty of times. The best team before this, right? For Cinderella, or the best electric team is literally going to be this one.
Are we going out
And it's
for
going
some
to be everybody's favorite
photosynthesis?
character. Everybody don't have her. Swimsuit,
Are you putting us to work
Anis!
even during our vacation?
Anis, okay? Now this was the best team that I tested previously. For an electric team, this was the best one. Let's check out this damage and we compare. We're gonna take out Trina and Scarlet out. We're gonna put Isabel and Arcana in and see if that is going to be better. Okay, you see that's the problem. We cannot use this team because Arcana is a bloody 40 seconds. Do you see the problem? Do you guys see the problem? Arcana is 40 seconds. So Arcana being 40 seconds means she will need another burst 2 character, so we cannot put Swimsuit Anis. So after testing hours and hours and hours of testing, I can pretty much conclude that Isabel with Arcana is currently the second strongest electric DPS character. Now, that is with the asterisk, right? Because it's a bit complicated. You are getting two characters combo together. Cinderella is still going to be the best one by far. If there's only a single boss, she is just unbeatable. And yeah, Scarlet and Trina has been dethroned. All right, the combo with Scarlet and Trina, as you can see right here. This is pretty much what is going to be something that you can consider. You can see Isabel with Arcana is doing slightly more than Scarlet with Trina. So let's talk about a little bit of a few options right here. Number one is you can see because you gotta put another character that's burst 2. I tried with Blanc. I tried to put Naga, right? I tried to put Mary. Mary is actually pretty good. All right, if you don't have, you know, you want to put Blanc or Mary, so that's going to be how it is. I think Mary is by far the best character to put alongside with Arcana. So if you're trying to put this team with Rouge, Isabel, Cinderella, make sure that Isabel goes together with Arcana. The burst has to go together, and then Mary will be bursting alongside with Cinderella. This could be a decent team for electric team, right? Obviously, I've run multiple different testings as well. In case you guys are wondering about shotgun teams, how about shotgun teams, right? Because right now, that's going to be what it is. I tried with Tove, alongside with Arcana, Isabel, and then you got Drake right here with Leona. You can see it's not too far behind in terms of damage overall. But shotgun team is going to be extremely niche, and probably you're not going to touch it unless the boss is weak against electric, right? So that's just going to be how it is. In most cases, you want to use Bunny Soda rather, right? But overall, if you look at the best team, right? If you want to put like Isabel with Arcana, and then you put Crown with Cinderella, this is going to give you the highest or the best electric team by far. Is going to be this particular one. Crown is still going to be there to give you the best results. But all in all, here is my thoughts on her, right? After comparing True and True, I still think, you know, it is going to be a little bit more complicated, right? It depends on what you have. It really depends, because like Scarlet and Trina, you have the flexibility to put either any Sparkling Summer, or you can put Maiden Ice Rose. Both are limited characters, and I know like some of you guys may or may not have them, but electric team, those are going to be the main prominent buffers. With Arcana, you can't really use Ani Sparkling Summer or Ice Maiden Rose as freely, because you're going to need another burst too, right? So that's just going to make the setup much more finicky generally, right? So it depends on who you have generally. Now, should you pull for Arcana? So here are my thoughts. If you have Isabel, absolutely. She does boost Isabel's damage. Inconsistently or in conjunction, you can see most of the time Isabel seems to be doing about 60 to 70% of Cinderella's damage. And I would say that's pretty decent. Alright, that's going to be again a little bit more than Scarlet with Trina, right? I think it is overall a pretty good investment. Now, it is very, very expensive though. I want you to keep in mind, you are investing in two characters. Number one is Isabel herself. Number two is going to be Arcana. There's a lot of overload gears, there's a lot of skill books and stuff. Now, probably you shouldn't rush it. Wait for a little bit until electric rates comes. If you ever need it, then sure, go all in, right? But for the time being, I would say, you know, we don't know if the Stellar Blade collaboration that's coming is going to be electric type as well. So that's going to be something that is better to just wait and see, and rather than just to be impulsive with the decisions, right? I do think that right now we are in a very weird timeline, because just right after anniversary, and then we are going to get collaboration soon, and summer is coming later. So you might want to like be careful before going all in on Arcana. One more thing is Mihara got sort of improve or buff. She's now works on a bunch of other bosses, and she's going to be very good for Indivilla right now specifically. If you guys haven't already use her, she's actually strong. Alright, they did fix all her issues. She's going to be a very, very worth investment of a character. If you guys haven't already, consider her as an option. Other than that, Arcana is not going away anytime soon. She is going to be in the standard banner, or will be added to the standard banner later on. You can still wishlist her. I don't see the rush to try to get her right now. So yeah, that's my thoughts overall regarding Arcana. Pretty interesting character. Let me know what you guys think overall. As per usual, subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.